Hello and Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to my vlog. My name is Muhammad Haider Khan Niazi, and I am currently in my third semester of architecture design. I am doing my degree from NFC IET Multan. Today I am excited to share my latest design studio project with you. The title of this project was Artist Residence. It was basically a home for solitude and storytelling. This project was a deeply personal exploration of how architecture can respond to emotional history, creative rhythm, and the need for healing through space. We were given a list of characters that we had to choose for our project. I chose the writer persona and I named the writer Aris. His life story shaped the entire design. He grew up in a conflict ridden household, emotionally scared by constant parental fights. Seeking peace, he left home early and built a solitary life, yet remained socially warm, hosting literary gatherings and poetry readings. His residence was designed to reflect this duality, solitude, and social warmth. It is divided into three zones: private, creative, and semi public. The private zone of the residence included the bedroom and kitchen, offering comfort and calm. The creative zone of the residence features a north facing writing studio with views of a waterfall and a cozy reading nook that was filled with soft light. The semi public zones include a courtyard and west facing deck for evening poetry gatherings that he used to host in his residence. Circulation in the house was gentle and winding, with different buffer zones to separate the spaces from each other, and ramps and stairs were also included in the project to increase the circulation in the residence. The Now we will come to the significance of this project. This project was very significant to me because it really challenged me to design not just for function but for feelings. Architecture of this design was not just the ordinary architecture, it was emotional architecture. It was the architecture that we can feel. R is the writers had some fears and we had to alleviate them by using design strategies. His fear was emotional chaos and of enclosed spaces. We had to remove the enclosed spaces. We had to choose the open floor plan for that. And another fear that he had was of sudden unpredictable noises that we also had to alleviate by providing sound buffers. Moreover, I used light, texture, sound, and views as emotional anchors. For example, I added a water feature outside his studio that wasn't just a visual feature, but it also symbolized emotional release and creative flow. The residence became narrative in itself, from morning meditation under trees to sunset gatherings on the deck. Every space sports a different chapter in writer's daily life. It's a home that listens, adapts, and heals. While I'm very proud to do that project with that emotional depth, I believe there is a room for refinement also. That my jurors also suggested some improvements in the project. One improvement could be integrating more sustainable strategies like passive cooling, rainwater harvesting, or using reclaimed materials to reflect Aura's introspective ground and grounded lifestyle. I had been also suggested by my juror to explore modularity in the semi public spaces. For instance, movable partitions or flexible furniture could allow the courtyard or deck to transform based on the scale of gatherings, from intimate conversations to larger poetry readings. Spaces can transform by that. In conclusion, the writer's residence is more than a house. It's a spatial memory house. It taught me how architecture can be a vessel for healing, creativity, and emotional balance. That's it. That's all for today. And thank you for listening.